Tell us about why you think programs like this are necessary and work.
Why impact or legacy, why they work is because it helps men realize why they do what they do. But first, it helps them accept that they do what they do. And it's a hard pill to swallow at first, but going in the room full of other guys, making yourself vulnerable like that, and just laying it all out on the table and realizing that you've made mistakes, that you probably continually are making mistakes, but then breaking it down and opening yourself up like a book and trying to understand why, and then recreating yourself to move forward in a better life of not making those same choices again.
What's the hardest part about making those changes?
Actually holding yourself accountable to it and realizing that it's basically your actions are engraved in you, and it's really hard to move on and just hold yourself accountable to not continue to make those same mistakes again, and remember the practices that you learn, all the lessons that you learn throughout the program. And really, it's easy to go through the program and read the book and say the right things,
Yeah.
but when you need to actually apply that, that's when it really shows if you truly are changing or not.
What's the hardest thing? What's the hardest thing about staying non-abusive? What's the biggest challenge for you then?
For me personally, the hardest thing would probably be controlling my reaction, not being reactive, and reminding myself, like the SDR, stop, drop, and roll, reminding myself that catching cues when I can feel that I'm getting frustrated or feel like I'm losing a little bit of control,
Right.
to take a step back and gain that control again. And in the past, before the program, I was the type of guy where when I would know when I'm taking things too far, and I wouldn't care. I would say, whatever, let it happen, let it happen. Where now it's like, no, I don't want to be this person. And I recognize that I'm starting to get reactive. I'm having just too much anger or anxiety or any sort of feeling, and being able to just take a step back and get full control of myself again.
How to word it? What would you say caused you to abuse in the first place?
What caused me to? Feeling lack of control over what was happening to me, but it's deeper than that, because what I thought was happening to me wasn't even happening to me. Like, we talked about how I always had a fear of being left behind, of abandonment, a fear of being hurt by someone that I loved, and I convinced myself that I would be. So, what caused me to be abusive was trying to control a situation that I have no control in, and then just I always assume the worst case scenario, things like that.